We are here, and this is episode 29. Wait, this is the backyard therapy once again.
Yes.
Saint Dior, he's missing in action, but it's okay.
AWOL,
but we can still make it. We got guests here. You know, this is Francois. We got
the specialist.
The specialist here. Mm-hmm. We got returning guest. Fari. And we here to talk about the Sheik.
The Sheik, I like that one.
Yeah, you know, right? That's solid. But we here to talk about a few things, right? But this is a special episode, man. It's our 48th independence of this country, man.
Yeah.
The 48th, man. That's crazy, man. I haven't even been alive for double that. Almost. No, I haven't. But, you know, it's, half. And as the years pass on by, well, Corona has sort of changed it a little bit. Every independence, we would have the usual tattoo. Mm-hmm. The big tattoo. Everybody's going to tattoo, but I don't think there's a tattoo this year.
They went the gospel route.
Oh, really?
They said, the Bahamas is a Christian nation, so they're gonna get back to the roots.
Oh, really?
But, you know, being who I am, I look at, you know, the wording, the writing, the black and white, and I come to a slightly different conclusion. Like I always say, the Bahamas is not a Christian nation.
No, it's not.
It's a nation that has an abiding respect for Christian principles.
Yeah.
So that's saying, yes, we would want our citizens to have these principles and be of this faith, but it's not a Christian nation.
No.
Because historically, a Christian nation is a nation that only allows Christianity within its borders, and it pushes out all other religions and people.
But you sure? You was gonna say something, man?
That's not the case here.
No.
Right.
Definitely.
We have quite a few religions here.
We have religious freedom here. Mm-hmm. The same as in the States.
So why do you think people want to cling to this Christian nation concept so bad?
That's what I was gonna ask you.
That comes about partially through slavery. I won't fully accredit it to slavery.
Yeah.
Because naturally, and I don't identify our people as Negro, Black, Colored, those titles, because those came about because of slavery.
Yep.
Those are adjectives, they're not nouns, they're not proper descriptors of people. That's not the name that our people had before slavery happened.
Yeah.
We had different titles. Mm-hmm. And before Greece and Rome, people weren't identified by colors. Yeah. You were identified by your nation.
Yeah.
And so that's why I'm saying all of this, because it ties in. That's your identity. So if you're going on the biblical perspective, God divided his people, his children, into nations and tribes so that they can recognize each other and be better able to worship him. Mm. Because if you look at ancient Egypt, people like to say it's evil, but again, that's using the Europeans' lens backwards through time after slavery's been applied. Mm. Christianity is built on the same principles of the mystery religion that they had in Egypt, and they call it a mystery religion because that God essence was naturally a mystery, but the veil has been lifted, you know, that secret has been revealed, but the powers that be want to make it seem that it's still there. So you had different cities in the nation, like, okay, we have to tie it back to the biblical thing, because that's why you don't throw away your Bible. You see, you can get a proper picture, like the 12 tribes of Israel. Each tribe had its specific duty, mission. You had the priest class, the warrior class, the medics, the artificers.
Right.
You know, just like you have in feudal China, feudal Japan, the clan system. Your family, your clan, you all do one thing. That's where the name Smith come from, blacksmiths.
Yeah.
So your pride was, we are blacksmiths. We are the best blacksmiths you will find anywhere. Come to us. Our name is Smith.
Yeah. We can get it done. Yeah, we can get it done.
Exactly.
it's interesting to see that same sort of. It's not the same mentality, but we have. Okay, so this is what I want to say. People, independence, right? I don't think a lot of people really understand what it really truly means to be an independent nation and to have something you're prideful of.
Right.
I think the wave of independence nowadays is up, go to tattoo, up, tweet the picture of the dude who wrapped himself in the flag and has the Bahamian band. You know, get on Facebook, say Happy Independence, and do your thing. And sure, that could be a part of the culture, that could be a part of the pride, but I don't think a lot of people really try to research it themselves and try to find out. Like
you forgot one great Bahamian vestige.
What's that?
Independence.
Oh God, I
remember that. I remember that.
Honestly, one day I found myself singing that. That's the day I knew I was too far gone. but hold on. So Bahamian independence. Do y'all think most people even know what we have independence from?
Do people
even
know
acknowledge
what it means to be a Bahamian? A question I like to ask is, what is the common loftier goal? Right in the national anthem.
Yeah. That should be clear.
Steady sunward. Though the weather.
The
it's supposed to be a common loftier goal. Once you're a Bahamian, we working towards this goal. You could do your personal goal at the same time as that, before that, after that, but at some point you need to be on this goal as a Bahamian.
Yeah, bro.
Even if it's get money.
The goal is tourism, babe.
But interestingly enough, we don't even, I think in almost no aspect of our culture and the way we live like that. It's easy. It's the common saying all around this country. We have black crab syndrome. We just pull each other down. We don't like to see other people do better. Hey, you getting the bag off of something you doing? I gotta come in. I gotta interrupt that.
I gotta jump in again because it ain't black crab syndrome. It's crabs in the barrel syndrome.
Crabs in the barrel.
No matter the color of the crab, no matter the type of crab, you put a bunch of them in the bucket. They all trying to get out, and if they see someone getting up, oh, let me pull you down, or let me climb up over you because it's crabs in the barrel. So you in the wrong conditions, environment, and situations. You ain't gonna be at your optimal. You ain't gonna be in your right state of mind or your fastest or best thinking state of mind.
Yeah.
All of this is psychology that people who have power study. Yeah. This is what they teach their children. This is what you get when you get a quality education. And this is what we're missing. 48 years, almost 50 years. What do we have to show for it?
That's a heavy question, and a lot of people don't like to look at that. They don't like to confront questions like that because you're correct. What do we have to show for it?
See, we have things like Wendy's, McDonald's.
I thought she was gonna say something serious.
This is dead serious. That's what we have.
Yeah.
You know, we got Fusion, we got Bahamas, Atlantis. But
we have Cabbage Beach.
Right.
Yeah.
But the things that are foundational for a nation's self-sustainability, we are lacking.
Severely.
The ability to make your own clothes, food, shelter, fuel, medicine, weapons. We lack all of that. And it's not because we don't have the natural resources.
We do.
We rank among the lowest for productivity in the region. What does that mean? That means the Bahamian people lazy. Literally, we don't have.
Why do you think they're lazy?
A clothing company, an underwear company.
Where is this laziness based from?
That's ingrained. In us. You see, a lot of our bloodlines would be, let's say, royal bloodlines. You know, in a large confederation of nation states or tribes, you have an aristocracy. Yes, that's historical, but it if it's based in love, truth, peace, freedom, and justice, the 5 oldest principles known to man, there are inherent checks and balances to keep that going. You see? So, again, harking back to the 12 tribes, if you know your family heritage, your place in society, even if you feel that you born into the Smith family but you want to go and be an actor or a singer, yeah, that can be your passion. But at the end of the day, if that doesn't work, or if you need something to fall back on, you always have that blacksmithing in you, because that was trained in you from a child. So you can always sustain yourself with that and still make your living. But we as a people have been broken. All of these principles that are in the Bible, basic instructions before leaving earth, in the Quran, in the Torah, Buddha talked about it, Confucius talked about it. We're not getting the common thread. We looking at all these different things like, oh, they are that religion, and oh, they following the devil. No. At the end of the day, if it's a true religion that comes from the ancient people, those who are of African descent, which modern science now says is the basis for humanity. But we also have to understand that Africa isn't just limited to the continent that we look at today. Before the 6,000 years ago advent of the fixed, pale, melanin recessive part of humanity, Africa and America, we still had lots of interactions between them before the land bridge from Europe to America and that migration. Historical records all show people are being able to validate this stuff, but this doesn't negate the greatness of our lineage. It's that knowledge was all around, and we came to one place to move it around. So
let me ask this: what happened? What happened to all this knowledge? Why aren't us as a people using this to propel ourselves? Why are we still voting the same 2 parties back in? Why are we still just allowing them to run amok like in our society? They're making bucks off of us, but we're not trying to bring some new system in.
All right, so it's the same fundamental and foundational problems. You will run into your people who take it down to a black and white thing. And just a random tangent, science has already proven that black and white have no basis in biological or genetic science. They're pseudoscience, and that's really social constructs. So there's one race, the human race. Divided into families and nations and tribes. That goes back to biology. There have been certain events throughout the course of history that cause other things to happen, but black and white aren't what's going on. It's not colors.
No, it's not. It's not.
So when people start to say, oh, well, the so-called white people, the Europeans, enslaved everybody else, that's a part of the story, but that's a later part of the story. Before all of that happened, we know we had unity on a larger scale, but then that broke down. And so what happened was, in simple words, we thinking the so-called white people subjugated so-called black people, but it was a split in between the original people. There was some who was down for trying to create life, and there was those who weren't down for it. Those who were able to create life, the experiment went wrong. And so it isn't that, again, the Europeans dominating over the Africans. It's a half of the Africans who using the Europeans as a straw man to subjugate their own people. This is why you had that whole period in time where wearing the wigs and powdering your skin to look more white was popular, because there were more people passing up until the 18th century, all of the world's royal families were of deeper melanated hue.
Mm-hmm.
Now, let me ask you this.
Mm-hmm. Well, I was gonna say, so essentially, you're saying somewhere along the line, like we forgot, we lost our ability to cooperate and to almost like to unionize as a group, as a collective, working together in communities.
Right. So we can put it like, okay, you had the set who wanted to be one with nature and rise to higher states of being that way, and then you had the ones who wanted to go the more physical route and control it and twist it to their being. And that was a beef that was irreconcilable. So the nature side won for most of history until the other side was able to, let's say, find the Europeans who came out of the caves and lost their melanin because of being trapped behind the Ice Age and all that, gave them a language, gave them culture, and trained them to be bloodthirsty.
Interesting.
Because humans aren't naturally bloodthirsty. And there's historical evidence of, let's say, African or melanated royalty who had armies of Europeans, and instead of fighting their own people, they'd send their European soldiers out, have them kill each other, and whoever's left with the most soldiers at the end of the day wins the battle. Really? And none of your good blood has spoiled.
Interesting. I don't know anything about this.
You see? So
let me ask you this. So do you think we're ever gonna reach a point, I mean, when I say we, humanity, modern humans, do you think that we will ever get to a point where it's not gonna be black and white? And I'll say this: I read novels and I read stories of, like, you have futuristic societies where it's skin color is not a thing. Like, right. I mean, obviously it's a thing because you have white people, black people, brown people, yellow people, whatever.
There, but it's not.
It's there. It's not an important
difference
thing
that you pay attention to.
Right. It's like a society of where, like, your rank is based on, like, your eye color, or it's based on basically, I mean,
it's a meritocracy.
Or meritocracy, right?
Your benefit to society.
Yeah, exactly. So, back to my original question: do you think we will ever get past black and white?
I think we can, but it's up to education, because we're in the information age. We're in the deep of it, and it's only going to get deeper. Over the past short history, technology has made more than leaps and bounds.
Yeah.
We flying, literally. So it's about right education, teaching the youth how to think instead of continuing to teaching them what to think.
Yep. Yeah.
Because if they know how to think for themselves and you teach them how to make a proper judgment, we all can come to the truth. Because the truth is the only thing that doesn't change. You see, it's just been a recent thing that black and white is a real point of contention.
You're right.
And again, that goes back to the point of people not knowing their nations and tribes, because you basing yourself off of skin tone, skin color, superficial looks, when we all come from the same origin anyway.
We all come from the same place, man. That's what I really don't understand.
Yeah.
But a lot of people don't understand that, or they just don't know that.
It benefits a few.
Right.
And so the few have to maintain the status quo.
I would have to be honest with y'all. I think I have a sort of a different view on that. I think we're very visual creatures. We interact almost with 90% of the world through our eyesight. I don't quote me on that. But, greatly, and I guess once you lose one of those senses, you just have to learn to adapt the others. But
Right.
eyesight is still like king. And like I understand realistically looking at a lot of things like the structure of education. I understand how it is highly unlikely that we'll be able to get to a point where everyone is educated to this point and can understand, different concepts and how, thinking one way is more beneficial than thinking another way. So I feel like we'll always kind of be susceptible to like visual stimulus in that way, and thinking of different people or making assumptions based on visual information. Like I think it might be possible, but I feel like it would be a long way off.
I never said how soon it would happen. Now, we can't deny that it's a possibility, because it is a possibility. And again, it's just the education. And when I say that, Bahamians fall into the same trap and cycle. I'm not saying you do that, but in prior instances of talking to people. And when we say education, people start to think, okay, what's out there that I can use to teach the Bahamian people this, that they can understand? And it's not going and finding something, it's making it for ourselves.
Yep.
And the standard is out there all over. I love to point at Canada because, all right, at a certain point, 80% of their radio and television had to be Canadian made. I don't know if it's still like that, but that's what it is. So imagine the Bahamas takes that point. You create whole new industries. You need singers, rappers, songwriters, script writers, videographers, cameramen, wardrobe,
Suddenly Bahamians
gaffers,
become a lot more
light
creative.
people. All of these things are professions.
Yeah.
You are creating jobs and you making content to educate your people, to entertain your people. You are generating money, and this, you ain't going outside to nobody else.
Right.
You can do this in-house. What comes from the outside? Equipment. Cameras, monitors, computers, hard drives. Sure.
Yeah.
But you have people who sell those things in your country, so money can be generated in country and circulate in the country. Our problem is we import the majority of our necessities. Food, all the clothes, shoes. Think about it.
That's true.
Yep.
That's true. I mean, okay, so let me ask this. How to start this? Is it a matter of expense? Like, is it a huge financial deal, or are we just not trying to educate people to start these things? If not, why aren't we?
We're always trying to reinvent the wheel. We always got the slick talking politicians
Definitely.
with this newfangled idea that's going to drive us forward or reinvigorate tourism. Again, there's no need to reinvent the wheel.
Yeah.
Civilizations have started and fell, lasted much longer than we've lasted.
Yep.
Anyone who's played one of the, kingdom building games, you gotta secure some land.
Yeah.
You gotta make your food. If you grow your animals, grow your animals.
Yeah.
Secure your borders.
Build a wall.
Build a wall.
Yeah.
Get some soldiers.
Yeah.
Yep.
Protect your borders. Take some more land. Build up.
Producing.
We have the structures for the appearance of these things, but we're not actually putting in the effort.
to do so.
we're not working towards being self-sufficient with food, whereas we don't need to import, so we don't feel the VAT on the food.
Right.
Because, okay, if it's Bahamian grown, no VAT. All of this imported food that's export only, you paying VAT on that.
Yep.
If Bahamians make it, you paying VAT to get the foreign.
You mean like
All that available Andros land, all
Yeah.
that available
Yeah.
land,
yeah.
arable land.
And see, the middle class is disappearing, but the middle class people are gonna complain about something like that when it's first implemented, because they don't understand. The rich people are gonna be like, I can buy what I always been buying anyways. Y'all ain't really affecting me. Or I should say the wealthy. But then the middle class people are gonna be like, oh, this is the stuff I buy. You make them. I can't buy my stuff anymore.
Yeah.
The Bahamian stuff is fresher, better quality. We can get to that point, and you pay less for it.
Yeah. Yeah. That's it.
But I want my Tyson chicken, man. I want no Andrews chicken, the Tyson chicken fodder.
The
No,
fact that
why
I
the
could hear
Tyson chicken
niggas saying
fodder?
that.
Just they inject it with a saline solution.
Yeah.
That makes it worse for your health.
They don't worry about that though.
No, they like the steroids.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's like, oh yeah, let me
obviously.
get the hands and the fruit of the looms. I don't have to Bahamian underwear. And see, the next half of it is what they don't understand is that makes the necessities of life accessible and affordable for the lower class people, the actual hard working people who need these things, who never get these breaks. Because if they get out of the poor class in the way the system's set up now, they could stop working.
Yeah. Yeah.
They could get fat and lazy.
As most of them
That's
are
the
right
trap.
now. Yeah. As
Because
most
if
of
you
them
get
are.
out of that and you still hard working and you show the other poor people how to be hard working and work smarter and get to a point where, you know what, all us could kick back and chill if we wanted to, you know.
Yeah.
Like, I don't have to work this job that I hate, but because I have to pay these bills, I have to deal with this a-hole supervisor, manager, boss who making me stand up for 12 hours straight. I can't sit down or I get right up. No matter the health problems I have.
Yeah.
That's what you just be dealing with.
Literally gotta stop 12
Absolutely.
hours.
Hey.
That's what a lot of a lot of cashiers at Solomon's, they have to deal with that. They're not allowed to sit. Even if they're pregnant, they're not given a chair. A lot of them have to work like 10-hour shifts, and they feed us be break up, and it's like that's rough, man.
Yeah.
At least I could like move around and sit down when I could, but y'all have to like suffer. That's crazy.
And that's the thing, like, maybe someone wants that job and you could let them sit down behind the cash register and
Do it.
come on,
Yeah.
let's be human.
Yeah, I mean, what's the big deal? Like, I think you go to most like grocery stores or department stores or whatever stores in like America, for example, and the cashiers are sitting down. If they want to, they'll sit down.
Yeah.
Why are we like this? Why are we doing this?
Because of the lack of humanity. We don't have that in us. And again, that's the whole I get out of the ghetto, F y'all,
Yeah.
I made it.
I made it.
But we a Christian
All by
nation.
myself, solo dolo. Meanwhile, everybody in the hood was supporting you, you know. You supporting them, they supporting you. It's a family. But you go out, the chain weaker because it lose a whole link.
Yeah.
The bundle of arrows smaller because it lose a whole arrow. Don't let you pull one y'all with you or big her up and then leave her.
As most niggas do.
That's that most do.
Yeah.
Now there's an extra burden on the whole hood. Like, come on, man.
They don't think about that thing.
No. That ties into kind of what let's move on next. We can skip this one. Marriage is for the woman. Now, I don't know how y'all feel about it, but I'll air myself out. This is my personal feelings. I do believe that marriage is for the woman. That's just how I feel because I can't. Me, of course I'd like to marry one day, but what I would prefer is like a nice. The most I would do is like a ceremony in the church with my close family and friends. Nothing too big, no big pictures or nothing.
Yeah.
But if it was up to me, I just go sit down, me and you, papers, bomb. Here you go with a witness with the judge or whoever is who does it. I don't really know too much about it, but that would be my way. But where I feel as though when they're throwing the big ceremony and have the pictures, do everything. That is for your lady to be happy, which is nothing wrong with that. But how do you guys feel about that?
I'd say, first off, marriage is for the nation.
Okay.
Because that's a part of, the nation, the whole family structure. It's all for a reason, and the ceremony is for the both of y'all. Yeah, it's more for the emotional benefit of the wife.
Right.
Because it's her big day, get to show out, but the whole purpose behind that is you're making a public show to the nation that the two of y'all coming together in love, yes, but this is now a union for the benefit. The two of y'all supposed to be letting your powers combine so y'all could double, triple, quadruple the amount of money y'all make for yourselves.
Yeah.
So y'all could have children and have the money to sustain those children so they could be the best that they could be, because any child can be prime minister or president or leader of the country.
Definitely.
So you have to be in the best place to be able to raise the best children.
Absolutely.
You can't do that if you're stressing about bills, you eating junk, you can't buy proper food, you can't go out to ease your mind, you can't relax. The children you raise are going to be broken because you're broken.
Facts.
So the nation is stuck in the perpetuity where the wolves are the shepherds of the sheep.
That's true. How do you feel about it? Yeah.
I also agree with that because, well, first of all, I mean the family structure. That's also a Christianity. That's also a relic of Christianity too.
Well, that's something that Christianity took on. That's something that's historical in humanity.
Right.
But again, to tie into what you're saying, that's the way we've been introduced to it.
Yeah.
And
that's true.
There's no flexibility in that, no looking at the natural state of humans. And so it becomes oppressive.
Understood.
If you look at African cultures, marriage went differently. All the property and everything actually went through the woman. The inheritance went through the woman. Why? If it's time of war and the man go out, the woman is the one who stay in the nation, the one who stay in the house, the one who managing all the resources and assets. If he there, she still is the one who managing everything.
Yep.
So
Complete facts.
when they were being invaded and they killed a man and then come into town and realize, hey, we still ain't getting what we want, they realized how the inheritance went. So the European conquerors established marriage to get the points of, and you can look up Manus, M-A-N-U-S, and Potestas, P-O-T-E-S-T-A-S, Manus and Potestas. The power to be over the wife the same level as the man is over the children. And then Manus is the right to be able to hit the woman.
Yeah.
Like you would hit the child to discipline them. So that European concept was to subjugate the African women and be able to transfer all of their possessions to them, which is also why you see in most instances the married couple come under the jurisdiction of the Christian church. You see, so in, like, say, the Crusades eras, all of the property then becomes property of the church.
Right.
And the church grants back to, you know, the crusader or whatever portion they deem fit. You see? So in that way, marriage really isn't for the women, not in this European crusade, slavery, subjugation sense. You see?
Yeah.
And then also what you would see is if you had a wife, your wife's friend, husband died, and she had some children, and, you know, she didn't have no support. Your wife's friend, your wife would then bring her friend into the house. You would marry her friend. And again, not in that European way, whereas, okay, you grinding this gal now.
Yeah.
No,
Yeah.
you marry her so she comes under your protection.
Yeah.
And she can contribute to your household.
Right.
Yeah.
And you can help sustain her and her children. Because 2 to 1, her husband was your brethren anyway.
Yeah.
And this is the concept you would need to look at when looking at the Bible and seeing, okay, if this one died, you marry his brother. You see?
Very interesting.
Now, with that context, they still saying, okay, yeah, y'all need to grind. But that wasn't the structure in the African tradition or many other places in the world. And if it was that additional marriage, it ain't like you just going out and pick a gal and, yeah, I can marry you too. Because then you had the arranged portion of marriages, which was you look up the two people's full star charts to see if they're compatible on all levels. When people think about zodiac, they only think about sun sign, which is only your outer appearance, the mask you have, the personality that you show to people. That's not even your real true self. So if you go matching on that, you will get a bad match because you're just looking at someone facade.
Facade, yeah. Looking at
See,
the
you look
face
at
value.
Right. You
Yeah.
look at the full chart, 12 planets, 12 houses, you know,
Dog.
all of that. You get an actual psychic map of what the person will tend to. It isn't a hard, fast thing because everyone born on the same day at the same time doesn't act the exact same way.
Right.
There are different circumstances and conditions that shape and mold them. So it's just a general mapping.
Yeah.
So, okay, this type of person and this type of person would be good together. And that's where you have your courting, and then you get closer, and then the marriage goes through.
That's interesting. Let me ask you this. So that sort of ties into like astrology in a way. You know, with the, you know, Virgo,
That's
Scorpio.
That's astrology.
Right. So would you would agree that certain people of certain signs do act according to the mapping, as you say? Like all Virgos would act like Virgo males. They would act like they all act a certain type of way. Like you could always tell a Virgo male.
I don't stick to that. What I would say is, like the way I look at it, like I said earlier, Virgo males have, they have a set of characteristics that will pop up more often than not, than say maybe another sign. You know, because there's 3 fire signs, 3 water signs, 3 air signs, 3 earth signs. So all of them are going to kind of act in similar ways. Water signs are going to act similar, air signs are going to act similar, but people still discount that's just the facade someone's putting out. In your 12 houses, you probably have all of the signs in your chart. So at any time of the day, you could be influenced by another sign in your chart. But if you don't know yourself, you don't know why I feel like I really need Rocky Road ice cream right now. Mother suck, I could go for salty right now, Dre.
Yeah.
But I miss salty shit.
I just had salty 2 days ago.
I really want to listen to this song right now. You see, the sun gives out light, heat, but it also gives out magnetic energy. And there's 3 different types of magnetic energy it gives out at different points in its cycle. We have 4 seasons. So that's a different way to get those 3 types of sun energy 4 different ways throughout the year. With that magnetic influence, that light, that heat, temperature influence, the child in the womb is going to be affected a certain way. We know that computers, we use magnets to write information. We process magnetic information as well. Our bodies are electromagnets. So same way, a magnet could kill you dead. A strong enough magnetic field will kill you.
I was sort of making a joke with someone the other night. I don't know, it's not really a joke, but I was more or less serious. Me, a friend of mine was telling someone, like, you know, and he's this other person was like, you know, I'm pretty terrible at driving and this and that. And I was telling him, I was like, bro, you gotta hop in the car, right? And you have to extend, you know, because, you know, humans have a natural, like, magnetic field around them.
Right. And
I was like, bro, you have to extend your field into the car so you could feel the car, but you have to become one with the car. You have to extend your energy way. And I was kind of joking, but I'm serious with that. Like, when I hop in my car, I feel that way. I feel as though I feel like I'm a good driver because, and for as long as I've been driving, I said for as long as I've been driving, I've never been in an accident. So that's why I say that. But you know, once you extend your energy throughout the car, and you be able to feel like you get the exact dimensions, the exact way where you could touch here, where you could turn here, and once you sort of do that, you'll be okay.
Exactly. You need to have a spatial awareness. And like I was saying earlier, our bodies are electromagnets. We have the blood vessels pumping blood, the heart pumping blood. They say it has its own electric field. We have nerves. They transmit electrical signals. When you move an electrical impulse through a wire, it creates a magnetic field. So our heart has a magnetic field, the brain has a magnetic field, and they say your heart's magnetic field stands, what, a mile away from you? Or 5 miles away from you?
That's interesting.
And your brain electric field stands like 6 feet away from you.
So
let
me ask this. So the phenomena of when you could feel someone looking at you, how does that detail that interaction to me, like with the feels?
For me, I'd start off with the fact that we're not just these bodies. We're, to put it in, let's say, a common religious standpoint, we are the breath in the body. That spirit and breath are synonyms. If you look them up in the dictionary, they're in each other's definitions. You see, that thought, that's what's important. And I'm of the thought process that humans are a hive mind species. The same way twins can be in different places and know if something happened to the next one. Whereas mothers know if something happened to their child.
Bro, I have this thing that has happened to me. Like when I was with my ex, I have this, I don't know how to explain it. It happened too much just to be a coincidence, way. But you could feel like I'd get this strong intuition when someone is like about to contact me, like a significant other, like, and like I say, this would happen day after day after day, and like I'd just be there chilling. It's like, this guy about to message me. 10 seconds later, bing, it pops up, and it just like, it wouldn't even be thinking about it. Like I just be here playing game or something, and it's like, wait, this person about to message me, and it pops up.
You feel them thinking about you.
Interesting.
It's
a hive mind species. And all right, the whole thing about metaphysics and quantum physics is philosophizing on what we have already discovered. And the universe is like a quantum computer. You know, you can have two molecules at opposite ends of the universe, and what you do to one, if they like quantum linked, it happens instantaneously to the next one, no matter the light year span between them. You see? And they say it operates like the quantum computer, whereas all points are equidistant from the core. You see, like how you are in, say, a video game. If you're playing GTA San Andreas, like the core, the map, like all points are like equidistant.
Right.
Like with how the game works, you know. So reality kind of pans out like that as well, especially with like waves and particles. And you know, you can look up all the YouTube videos and read all the experiments to see how waves and particles ain't really real. They can do whatever they want and change between the two. It's no, you know, and but thought is what manipulates dark energy and dark matter.
Right.
That's been the constant.
Yeah.
When the scientists are thinking about, let's just let the machines record, it's not there. But when they start thinking about it, it pops up and it's like, hey, look at me here. You can measure me now. So that tells us that we have a link to something. And it ain't an anthropomorphic God sitting above the clouds. You. No, it's thought. It's universal thought. Everything is a thought, a vibration, energy. Energy cannot be created or destroyed. It just changes from state to state.
Yeah, it passes on.
And this is why the ancient Chinese and Japanese say that items have spirits or souls. Well, let's stick to spirit and not soul. We have soul. They have spirit because they're made up of atoms, the same atoms that make up the molecules that make us up.
Yeah.
So each of those building blocks has that primordial original thought inside of it. And it's not a tangible thing. But it is, and we can look at it. Different items, objects, animals have different properties. They act in certain ways. You know, and the more we know something's name, the more we know about it, the more we can look at how it works and, in a way, control it or get in touch with it. That's our unique thing as humans. You see the extremes of it where Europeans, so-called white people, go out and do all types of stuff in nature and just like, what?
Yeah.
But that's getting in touch with that creator in a way. Be able to connect with the creation. And a lot of religions say that's our purpose, for the creator to be able to interact with the creation, because the perfect vibration cannot exist inside the imperfect creation as the perfect vibration. It's perfect. It doesn't improve. It doesn't degrade. It was. That's what it is. The denser ethers, the lower the thought gets, that's when you find that like small percentage of the universe that's actually dense that we can see. It's less than 1%, less than 0.5% of the universe is actually visible matter.
Yeah. Less than nothing. Almost.
Literally less than nothing. Like an infinitesimally small part of what actually exists in the entire universe, we can see with our two eyes.
Yeah, it's kind of crazy how like how big the universe actually gets, and this is only the known, what we know. But that's.
We could be in the simulation, boy.
That too.
We could be in that universe simulation number 48.
Pretty much.
It's just all
universe
the others.
Sims number 8.
Yeah. Hey, that's almost an hour. I think we should wrap it up there. So, thanks for everyone for coming out. The specialist, Fari. It's been a great conversation, great revelations. Thanks for everybody for tuning in as usual. Check our links in the description.
Laters.
Peace.